So Never Conquered, Rarely Came was completed in June of 2017. This was actually one of the first ones I had completed for FMF Season 4. It's inspired by a true story, and that's why I don't like to give myself a writing credit, because 80 to 90% of the dialogue in this was actually taken verbatim from transcripts of the actual text message exchange that Conrad and his girlfriend had in real life. And so literally, I didn't do a lot. I took some stuff out, I moved some stuff around, but everything they're saying for the most part is pretty much verbatim what was actually said in real life. I reached out to Ivory Doll to do the voice for this because we'd worked with her in the past, and she is just fantastic, super talented. And this is something where her performance needed to carry this. This film was going to make or break based on that performance, and so I needed somebody that could handle that burden and also give it nuance and depth and really make it a very nuanced, fleshed out performance. And I knew she was up to the task, and I sent her the script, and she jumped at it because normally she does like scared narrator and over emotional girlfriend and damsel in distress. And so essentially playing an evil, manipulative villain was territory that she had never gotten to do before. And so she jumped at the opportunity. And I thought she just killed this. When I got her lines back, I remember listening to the read she sent and just thinking to myself, oh, you fucking bitch. So good. So good. In fact, when we were recording Efren's narration for this, I was doing a line read so that way Efren would have something to play off of. And this stuff that Michelle is saying is very, very manipulative, to the point where as I'm reading it back for Efren to have something to play off of, our production assistant, Angela, is just glaring at me like, this fucking bitch. And so I didn't want to just portray Michelle as like mustache twirling evil, for lack of a better term, and the manipulation really had to be the forefront. And Ivory Doll just did fantastic with it. Just her delivery and her nuance, and how every once in a while a hint of anger will slip through and a hint of frustration will slip through. She just killed it. This shot here of Efren running, Efren hated me for making him run so far, but I knew this scene had to last for a little while, so he really just had to run. We had some debate. Originally, I didn't want him to wear the Bullet Club shirt because I was just like, is this going to make the Bullet Club look bad? Is this going to shine a bad light or give negative connotations to Omega and the Bucks? And Efren was just like, you're overreacting. Just because people like stuff that makes them happy doesn't mean they can't also be depressed. And so we kept it, and it's a nice little Easter egg. This part here was a lot of fun to shoot with the rubber hose. Kind of awkward in the hardware store, talking to Chad on the phone about what kind of hose I should get to auto asphyxiate, but came out great. I loved this. What we ended up doing is to show the carbon monoxide coming through the hose there, we shot all the stuff with the hose connected to the exhaust, and then I have this stuff called atmosphere aerosol, which is essentially fog machine in a spray can. And so we cut the hose and put it right on the end of the can and just sprayed the can directly into the hose, so that way it would come out the other end. And looked great. It was all practical. We also had Efren fog up the car with the fog machine in a spray can, so that way when he opens the door, fog just came billowing out. I thought that was a really cool shot. I kind of wish I could have backlit it more, but there was only so much we could do in that area. And this last shot here, I really love. This is where the story kind of deviates from real life. In real life, what had happened was Conrad just auto-asphyxiated in his truck in a Kmart parking lot. But we wanted something with a bit more punch for the ending. And so this actually is another true story where there was like a 13-year-old girl who live streamed herself committing suicide. And I was like, that's fucked up. That's how I'm going to end my movie. And we also thought it would be great to give Michelle a moment where she could drop the pretense, drop the act, and just revel in what she's doing. And I just thought that line, "Can I watch?" just is so dark and had such weight behind it. And it was great to just give her that moment to just be herself, where she can drop the act and just let her true intentions shine through and revel in it. And Ivory did a great job with that. With the credits here, I really wanted to use this cover of Mad World because I thought the line, "I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad, the dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had," really exemplified Conrad and what he was going through. But this was a very short film. There's a very short crew. We didn't have a lot of credits that we needed, and so I needed to pad the credits out to justify using the song. And so, since this was based on a true story, I took actual news reports that were happening at the time I was editing this and used that to add almost like a coda at the end to just kind of show the ramifications of what happened and remind people, if you think this is fucked up, it's kind of real. This is really what happened. And I just thought that was nice to just add a little bit of weight to and gravitas to this. So, of course, the title "Never Conquered Rarely Came" comes from a Blink-182 song. Adam's song. I wanted this to not be about this one event, but just suicide in general. And I think a lot of times people go for horror and they go for like monsters or jump scares. And I look at jump scares are to horror as tickling is to comedy. I mean, you laughed, so I'm funny. You jumped, so I'm scary. You know, it just feels cheap and cheating. And so I wanted to do something different here, very similar to what we did with One Bad Day, where the horror comes from the tragedy. It's a tragic thing you're forced to watch, and the horror comes from you're forced to watch it. You can't stop it. There's nothing you can do. This bad thing happens, and there's no way to stop it. And that's where the horror comes from, is just what you're feeling, that horrific feeling you feel inside watching this unfold and knowing that there was nothing you could do to stop it. I think it's a lot better executed in this than One Bad Day. It wasn't as rushed as One Bad Day was. We really tried to develop this as much as we could. And overall, I'm pretty happy with it. It ended up in it got selected into a film festival, so we got the little laurel on there. It's got pretty well received. So at the time I'm recording this commentary, season 4 has not premiered yet. So if this comes out and bombs and people hates it, oh well, I tried.